during the COVID era, we had politicians standing on platforms daily reciting the number of infections.
There's 41 new cases.
The number of people who had died from COVID.
There are now 675 Victorians who have passed away.
And there was all this apparent concern.
We, of course, send our sincere condolences and our sympathies.
But now when we've got 29,000 excess deaths, which greatly exceeds the number of purported COVID deaths, nobody wishes to address what's the cause.
Every one of these deaths is a person who would not have died if it had been a normal year with a normal number of deaths.
The formidable document which AMPS put together, Too Many Dead, addressing the excess deaths, which only started to occur in Australia just after the introduction of the mRNA products of Pfizer and Moderna. The book, Too Many Dead, with so many prominent authors involved, clearly points the finger at these drugs.
So far, the ABS estimates that there have been 29,601 excess deaths from March 21 to August 2023.
The Australian Senate has voted down a motion to investigate excess deaths.
I gave all my colleagues in this place the opportunity to help us investigate the causes of our excess death rate. Now, sadly, my motion was defeated and 35 of my fellow senators in this place, in my opinion, stood in the way of truth and justice.
If you start as a politician saying sorry, recognising literally hundreds of thousands of Australians who have been severely injured from these things, let alone those who died from the vaccines, the non-vaccines, well, then the next logical question is, what was the cause then?
The world is engaged in the largest clinical trial, the largest global vaccination trial ever.
And if you see and acknowledge the injuries as a consequence of the vaccines, and you're the government that coerced people to take those vaccines,
we're going to lock out people who are not vaccinated.
Well, then you've already got the nexus for legal claims against the government. So the government's running from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
But, you know, we kept being told, okay, well, even if there is a lot of excess deaths, even if that is true, it would have been far worse if we hadn't given everybody a rushed vaccine.
If you hear any Australian politician put that position forward, that's essentially a lie. Epidemiological studies, which were known to all governments in early 2020, acknowledging that COVID or SARS-CoV-2 represented no greater threat than a severe influenza season. We've had those countless times. Every few years, there is a severe influenza season, which takes out generally the older generations.
9 deaths. These include 1 female in her 70s, 1 female and 3 males in their 80s, 1 female and 3 males in their 90s.
If we let that severe influenza season just run its course, we would have got through it within 6 months. It would have been finished before the end of 2020. Instead, they locked us down and told us all these boogeyman stories about how SARS-CoV-2 was an imminent threat to your life and existence. Stay in your house until we get a vaccine, and then you can come out after you've taken the vaccine. That was a complete theatre.